Hi, I'm Jennifer Anderson, and this is Kristen Ingalls. It's Tuesday night, RockStar Rally night, my favorite night of the week, where I get to spend it with all of you. And tonight we're doing an SSD Q&A panel live. Ask us anything. And Kristen Ingalls is the superstar director extraordinaire of Wickless Luster Group. She's incredibly successful and been with Scentsy for like 7 years.
Half, almost 7, yeah.
Yeah. I've been with Scentsy for 10 years. And so we have a little bit of experience combined together, the both of us. So we're here answering questions tonight. Really excited about Q&A. Kristen and I are both open books. Okay. No question is off limits. Nothing is too scary to us. And we promise to always be honest and tell the truth. So let me pull up some questions, Kristen, from Facebook that we got submitted before RockStar Rally tonight. You ready?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. First question is from Kaylee B. Do you have simple organization ideas? She said, I need to be more organized.
Whew, don't we all? So for me, when I think about organization, I also think about systems, because to me, a system is organization. I actually did a training a couple weeks ago on systems. Going into the training, I was super kind of nervous because I was like, do I even have systems in place? And the more I prepped for the call, I was like, I do. You know, I do this every month. I do this every month. I do this every month. That is a system. So what I do when I look at my calendar over the month, because to me, I can't have binder after binder after binder. That's not the kind of person I am. I can't keep up with that stuff. And what you might have realized is that whatever you've been trying to do doesn't work for you, or you don't like it, you don't enjoy it, because when you don't like something or enjoy it, you're not going to be consistent at it. You have to enjoy what you do to come back and want to do it every single day. And Scentsy should be fun. It's not supposed to be a task. It's not supposed to feel like a task. So you have to find what works for you, so you learn to enjoy it, so that you come and do it again. So for me, I usually go off a monthly calendar. I have my big monthly calendar in place. I have everything. So for me, like during the week, the stuff that I do for my business is only income producing. I don't do anything else. So like PWS mail outs, I package parties, I actively have conversations with people about the recruiting opportunity. There's things I do every single week. Those to me are something that happen naturally that I don't need to put on my calendar anymore, because I know that I do them. But if you have a calendar, to me, I work better off a weekly. I can look at the big month, but I break it down by the week, and every Sunday is my planning day. And I make sure for that entire week, I have everything in place. I know who I'm talking to about recruiting. I know who has my parties. I know what parties I have to close. So for me, organization wise, if you're not talking about supplies and stuff like that, having a calendar or having somewhere that you write stuff down, or somewhere that you can figure out what you're supposed to be doing, is the biggest thing that you can do for yourself. Like, I'm a list person. I know Jen is too. We're both writers. We both have to write things down for our minds to remember them.
I totally agree. And I think as far as organization goes, echoing what Kristen said, you really do have to do something that works for you in your business, because if you try and force getting organized and color coded and labels and binders on yourself, but you're maybe not a type A person, you're a type B person, you're going to end up hating that or resenting it or not using it in the long run.
Yes.
So you have to do what's best for you. If you're digital, do digital. If you're pen and paper, do pen and paper. If you're a hybrid of the two, do a hybrid of the two. And honestly, I feel like the best way to find out what works for you is you really just have to try so many different things until you find your thing.
Yeah.
And often your thing is like, it's made up of many different things that you've tried.
Yeah.
Simple organization. I'm with Kristen. I look at weeks at a time, not months. And honestly, very much, I'm actually very much like day focused. Like, what am I doing today? And that's kind of where I live in the day, I don't really plan out weeks and months in advance. But that's because I've learned that's what fits my personality best. I also make lists, so I don't buy planners anymore, because they would just sit on my desk unwritten in, and they would be like just go to waste. I'd be spending all this money on planners for nothing. So now I buy notebooks, and I just use the notebooks and I make lists in the notebooks every day. That would be of things I need to get done or people I need to talk to or ideas that pop into my head. Um, and then as far as, organizing, like I always think Kristen's really great at having like a nice clean workspace. Her works, you can even see it behind, I mean, mine's a mess, but you can see hers. It's so nice and
I
clean.
can show them my office real quick, maybe.
Yeah, do
I
it.
mean, it's nothing exciting, but one thing while Jen was talking, I thought about too, I made my business super simple like 2 years ago, like my office space, I have hardly anything in it because what I realized over the years was I was spending so much money on stuff I didn't need for Scentsy, like all these office supplies and stuff. So now it is kind of a mess in certain places, but I'll show y'all real quick. So how do okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm about it. So this is my packaging station. It's super, super, super simple. It's just a really big table. There's all my bags and stuff. And then this is my desk. There's like a couple things on it, obviously. There's my wine. We need him. There's my printer. This right here is all like my packaging stuff, like tissue paper and that kind of stuff. And then this is my stock. Y'all, this is all I have for stock. That's it. That's it. That's literally my office is in a nutshell. That's all I have. And then like, oh wait, one more thing. Sorry. This right here, and it's super simple as well. This is where I keep all my stuff for taxes and my labels. And they're just in binders. And that's it. So I don't have like a lot of stuff. I mean, and I've been doing this for almost 7 years. I'm successful. Like you don't have to have a lot of stuff in your office and be doing all the things in your business to be successful. Make it simple. Make it as simple as possible. It's supposed to be simple.
Yep, I love that. Less is more. I think that's really good. And that's an SSD. That's an SSD's office. You know what I mean? So if you're like, I don't have an office, or I have a table in my bedroom, or I have a corner of our dining room, that's totally fine. You can make it happen no matter what. I loved it. Okay, next question. Bridget said, what did you do to prepare to leave your corporate job? Did you have a certain amount of savings, make a consistent number, and how long did you prep before making the leap? So I'll answer this one. I left my corporate job probably what anyone would look at and say, way too soon. Anyone else would look at my business and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. I left my job when I was a director with Scentsy, and I don't think I was making more than $1,500, $2,000 a month, maybe right around there. That's probably what I was making, which wasn't as much as my corporate job. But you're going to hear me say this more often than not. It was a gut feeling. And I always say, go with your gut. I just knew it was time to let go. Now I'll also say, I was married. I have a husband who works, and so financially it wasn't putting us in a scary or difficult spot. It was less than my corporate job, but we were still going to be okay. And so for me, I left at a time when anyone else would look at it and say that's too soon, but it was a gift from my husband, for me to be able to leave my career and do Scentsy full time. I will say that I feel like leaving your career and going Scentsy full time is more difficult than people think it is. And when you have a job outside of the home, you are outside of the home, which means you're seeing people, meeting people, talking to people. You probably have built-in customers where you work, or you just know people who know people, right, that you meet. When you only work Scentsy, you literally have no reason to ever leave your home. Like nothing makes you do that. So it is difficult, and you have to find ways to work your business and meet people intentionally. I heard someone once say that if you can live solely off of your Scentsy paycheck for 12 months in a row, and you do not touch your regular job paycheck, the 100% of it goes into savings, and that's for everything, for all your extras, for any shopping you have, for nights out, paying your bills, all of that. If you can live off Scentsy for 12 months, you're good. Time to go. Okay, that would be the wisest thing to do financially. For me, I made a jump, I made a leap. We knew, in my heart that was what I was supposed to be doing, and so that's what we did. But the decision is very personal. It's very personal and unique to every person. And Kristen can maybe talk about that, because she did leave her career at one point for Scentsy and then decided to go back. So maybe you could talk about that.
Yeah. So I have always been into fashion, and what I wanted to do was open up some sort of boutique or something like that. So I did. And I'm going to be honest, I left my nursing position after my boutique started really taking off, because I was making really good money really quickly, but it was a lot to keep up with. So I left nursing. And it just, to me, mine wasn't the right time. And I think I did it, a little too quickly. I didn't like what Jen was saying about, making sure that you can pay your bills and all those kinds of things. However, I probably still could have paid my bills with just Scentsy, but I'm the kind of person, I thrive off of security. And I don't thrive well when I just sound like I was super country when like the boat's kind of shaking and wavering. And nursing for me, and with Jen talking about this, it's so funny. Nursing for me has always been my crutch. It's kind of like this thing that I know it's always going to be there. So I don't have to like go all in with Scentsy. I don't have to like literally shove myself into the business because I have this crutch. So I was literally thinking today, Jen, it's so funny. It's almost like I need to just rip the Band-Aid off. Like I need to take my crutches and like throw them in a river at this point, because it's always like, guys, I'm just going to share this with you right now because this is real life. I made $5,000 last March for February. I made 12 grand today for February. I made $12,000 today with Scentsy. Why in the hell have I not quit my job yet? Because it's a crutch. Every single one of us has a crutch in this world. And we literally just like keep grabbing onto that. Like even our nails, we're just clawing at it. But when you let that crutch go, like I have enjoyed being home so much over the past week. I can't even tell you, Jen. It's just been wonderful. And I'm just like, okay, God, okay. But it wasn't the right time for me back then. Maybe it is now. I don't know. I got to pray on it. But, like it wasn't the right time. So you really just, like Jen said, she had a gut feeling. That's what she did. To be honest, when I left, I didn't have that gut feeling. It kind of didn't sit well, but I also felt like I had to. So I just did it. So really, like, you'll know. Mm-hmm. And you know what? If you make the wrong decision, guess what you do? You learn and you grow and you move on. Mm-hmm. That was only question like number 2. We need to move faster.
I know. But these are good questions. And I feel like this is like real stuff that's happening. So yeah, totally personal decision. I do feel like that you will know when and if it's time. And one other thing I want to say about that is, and Kristen and I have talked about this too, like, you always say that you're so comfortable in nursing. You're the top of the food chain there, and you're the boss lady, and you're top of the game. And what's so interesting is she's also the top of the compensation plan in Scentsy, but it's more risk going out on your own, and it's scarier, right? And that comfort zone, staying in your comfort zone of having that backup plan and that nursing career to fall back onto, it's just comfortable and safe of sorts. But something I've learned over the years is that, working for someone else really isn't safe. We think it is, but it really isn't. And the safest thing you can do is actually build your business and be in control of your paycheck and your future and your time.
Mhm.
Okay. Steph said, how often do you as an SSD spend time seeking out training or personal development for yourself? And what does that look like? Training within Scentsy, reading books, business training outside of Scentsy?
You want me to start or you want
Yeah.
to start? I keep moving my phone. Sorry. I like cannot figure out where the best space to leave it. So anywho, honestly, one of the best things for me in that area is to do trainings. I try to do a lot of trainings for other people's teams and I actually said this on a video the other day. If y'all are struggling in an area, the best thing that you can do is really dig into that area and then train on it. Because anytime, if you're a leader on here, anytime you try to do a training, you in turn grow from that as well if you open yourself up enough. So for me, I love podcasts. Those are things that I listen to every single day without fail. Honestly, sitting on my porch and like doing my devotional and spending time by myself is a huge thing for me, like growing and learning those kind of things because I like have time by myself. I always also listen to YouTube stuff as well, as weird as it sounds, mainly when I'm cooking dinner. So here's the thing. If you stop learning, like you literally stop growing. And if that means that you learn, a lot of the ways that I learn too is just by listening. Like I love going out and doing things and meeting new people and just listening to stories and like all that kind of stuff, because that's how you grow as a person too, instead of always having to be the person to talk, just like listening. So.
And I would say for me, like, same thing, podcasts, YouTube, books, or audiobooks. Like I prefer audiobooks personally because I like really struggle with reading. But another thing that I do is I really try and surround myself with people that I feel like are better than me, like in any area. And I try and like learn from them or develop friendships with people who I consider successful or want to emulate some of their behaviors. Some of my best like training and aha moments has come out of conversations with peers, or conversations with other consultants. And I would say me seeking out training maybe once or twice a week at the most, because I don't do that every day. I do think you can overtrain, and I do think you can like have too much information. And when you do that, two things happen. Number one, you get overwhelmed because of the like wealth of ideas, and your vision is no longer clear. It's very cloudy. And it's very difficult to kind of decide what you want to do or not do, what you want to take on or not take on. And you really start to lose simplicity in your business.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that happens is that very often you compare yourself to the trainer, whoever's training, what they're doing or what they did to become successful. You compare yourself to them and you start to feel bad about yourself if you don't measure up. And that's something you definitely open yourself up to if you overtrain or absorb too much information. So I think you have to be really cautious about how much and who you allow to train you. There's a lot of really successful people on Instagram, YouTube, free training, but you got to be careful who you open yourself up to, because, the way that they train or work their business may not really jive with you deep down, or may not be the way that you want to work in the long run. And so you really do have to be cautious and
Yeah.
what's the word I'm looking for? Discerning. You need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Michelle said, I feel like I do great, non-annoying follow-up that my customers seem to appreciate and love, but no one is ordering now. And I assume it's because they're all set. Has this happened to you? My solution is just to try and find more customers. Bingo.
She literally already answered her own question. The solution is to find new customers. So me and Jenny from the block, that's what I call Jenny from the block, have been, recruiting for years now since we joined. Well, guys, what happens when you recruit that many people is that half the time you recruit your best customers. So what do? You have to find new customers. This is a wheel. It's a cycle. You always have to find new customers. You always have to find new people to join your team. You always have to build from the base, from ground zero, the first day of every single month. But you know what? Like, that's also kind of great because it challenges us.
Mhm.
So every single month you have a challenge. And yeah, I mean, you already answered your own question. I don't know who it was that asked it, but like,
Yeah.
find new people, just find new people however you can. Do parties like Jen was saying earlier. Do some parties. That's how you meet new people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Meet new people, and then like maybe ask your customers who aren't ordering, like what's on their wish list or
Yeah.
what is something they want, and then show them how they can get it for free or half price with a party, right? So you get a booking out of it, you end up getting PRV and potentially meeting more customers that way too.
Yeah.
Jennifer said, I love hearing about aha moments. I'd be interested to know when, what, how it clicked that you knew that this was the path for you. Ooh, good question.
Hey, that's a really good question. Jen, you can go first with that.
I remember the moment very, very clearly. It was my first SFR, my first convention in Fort Worth, Texas in 2011. And I was listening to Heidi Thompson give her keynote speech, and the theme of that convention was called Stampede. We were in Fort Worth, Texas, after all, and Heidi's speech is titled "The One," and the whole idea behind her speech was that it only takes one bull to move powerfully in a direction to start a stampede, which is nigh unstoppable. And I remember hearing her talk about that. And there's this, herd of cows, herd of bulls, all just doing their thing, grazing, but it takes one bull to move with action in a direction. And then one bull is pretty powerful, but the power of a stampede is like literally unstoppable. You can't stop it. And so I remember sitting there in my seat and thinking to myself, I think I want to be a bull. Like those words kept going through my head and kept going through my mind. And I sat there and I thought, I wonder if I could be the one. I wonder if I could be a one. I wonder if I could be a bull. I wonder if I could be someone to move in a direction that was with such intentionality and passion and power that I could start a stampede. I think I want to be a bull. And for me, it was that moment that I decided to go all in with Scentsy, and that one speech, that one idea, that one thought has lived with me my entire career of Scentsy. And I'm always reminded that it only takes one person to change your business forever, right? Recruit everyone because it only takes one. You never know who you're going to recruit that could change everything. You never know who that person's going to recruit that could change everything. The person you recruit might do nothing, but they could recruit someone who changes your business forever. You never know. And for me, one of those life-changing people is Kristen Ingalls. When she came into my business, she made me level up because I needed to rise to the level that she was freaking crushing it at. And I saw what she was doing and I was like, wait, I can do that too. And I can be as awesome as her. And so that was another like aha moment that I had when Kristen came into my business. And she's one of those people that changed my business forever. And there have been many people along the way, but she's definitely one of them. And it's been like there are many refreshing moments, I think, in the last decade that have like refreshed my spirit or renewed my passion or been like, okay, yes, this is my path, this is what I'm supposed to do. But I can definitely take it back to that first convention, sitting in my chair. I remember it clear as day. And I made the choice right then and there.
I love it. Okay. So I kind of have two. The first, huh?
Go ahead.
It keeps freezing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, no, we should probably go to the next one. You did that one really well.
You sure?
Go to the next one.
Okay.
Yes, I'm very sure. My answer is not like yours. It wasn't that good.
Your answer is unique to you. Okay, Amanda said, I failed to mail out my monthly mailings this month. Is it too late to get those done and out? I'm feeling guilty about it.
Girl, bye. Put those mailings in the mailer. Bye.
Yep.
It does not matter. Just do it. As long as you do it, that's all that matters.
Your customers have no idea if you have a deadline or a timeline for yourself. So guilt is self-imposed. Your customers don't know. They'll just be so happy to get something in the mail. Last week, I just sent out
Amen.
thank you mail from customers who ordered from December. Okay. You want to hear keeping it real? That's keeping it real. They ordered in December and I just got their thank you mail out last week. Okay. You're welcome. Do it.
But you did.
Kristen, this is specifically for you from Sarah Barabee. How did you grow to SSD while working 40 plus hours a week, saving lives? A lot of people say that they don't have time to do this. How did you do it?
Oh dear God, that's a hard one. Well, Sarah, I've thought about this a lot. And it's funny because people used to ask that to me all the time. And I would always say, it's because I recruited heavy from day one. It's because I recruited heavy from day one. And a lot of that's true. But the real truth is I don't give up. Like, I'm the kind of person that no matter what happens, and I've been that way pretty much my entire life, I don't give up. Like, life happens, sickness happens, disease happens, you know, things happen with my body, physical, like it's literally, I'm a survivor and I don't stop. But everything that I've done is because I had, and this is the truth, y'all. Like, I had a vision in my head of what I wanted to create for my boys. I wanted to create this life for them. I wanted to be able to like cook them dinner and sit down at a nice table and be this person to them and have this family and like create this environment. So that's what I did. I had a dream, but like all that comes back to, I didn't give up when life happened and things came in my way because I had this dream that was so much greater than anything that life could throw at me. So when you have a dream that's that big, like I wanted to create this thing that my family created for me. I come from, you know, parents, I mean, we had no money growing up and we had nothing, but we had love and we had that table with dinner on it. And we had like, you know, we had those things and I wanted to create that for my kids. And so that's what I did. But like when you have a dream, I mean, nothing else matters. You just fight like hell to get to your goals, to get to that dream. So that's pretty much what happened. I mean, I joined and then the rest was history. It was like, I just was feet to the pavement, but don't get me wrong. There have been times over the past 7 years where I have not done well. Jen knows there were months that like, you know, my PRV did suck, or I didn't show up for my team, or I didn't do my mail outs for freaking 2 or 3 months. Or, I mean, I didn't show up at all for myself, for my team, for nobody, y'all. That happens, but you have to give yourself grace and you have to rise above it and you have to keep moving and you can't forget why you're doing it. And that's that. That's it.
That's good. And also, you know, you also got to remember Kristen promoted to SSD in 2 years. That's pretty quick to get to SSD. And, you know, you partied, you recruited like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You got up early, you worked after work. You know what I mean?
I still do.
Yeah.
Dude, I have to get up at 3:45 tomorrow morning to go into work at 5:45 because I work before I go into work. But it's because I have things that I want to do and I'm going to work like hell to do them. Mm-hmm. It doesn't stop.
Shelby said, do either of you have an established onboarding system for new teamies? I do not.
No. Nope. Sure don't.
Yeah.
No, I really don't.
I mean,
I never have.
Mm-hmm. Me neither. The longer I go in my business, the more simple I want it to be. And systems are important. Yes. But you don't need a system for everything. You don't need a system for every little task in your business. So I do not have an established onboarding system for new teamies personally. However, I know people that have great success with them. So that's, again, a personal choice and finding the way that works for you. People saying helpful to see your office. So that's good. How do you store your warmers? I feel like my warmers are drowning and crowding my workspace. My garage is full of totes with warmers, as is my office.
Let me walk to my living room.
Yeah.
This is literally where mine are, right here in this lovely little cabinet. And I will turn it around. This is them right there, literally. I don't have a lot of warmers either. But I also went through a divorce 2.5 years ago and decided that I was not going to have a whole bunch of stuff in my house anymore. So I've had sales, with people and all that kind of stuff to get rid of as much as possible because I don't want to have a lot of stuff in my house because it's supposed to be simple.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't do big events like Jen does. Jen does, she does huge events, so she has to have stock. That's not how everybody runs their business a different way,
Totally.
which is beautiful.
I keep my warmers and my stock in the boxes that they come in from Scentsy, like the white shipping boxes, the big ones. I use those and I fold them up, and then on the side of the box I write what's in it, so that way I don't have to open every box and know, like, good Lord, what's in here. And then I have metal shelves from Lowe's or Home Depot. They're in my office, and the boxes sit on the shelf. Each like of those, the shelf is what, $40 or $50 is what it costs, and each shelf holds 12 of those big white boxes. So it gets them up off the floor, and they just lay right against the wall. And then my bars, I hang on a pegboard in my office. You're going to hear people say you should lay them flat. I've hung them for 10 years and I've never had any problems. You can lay them flat. You can do whatever you want to do, but I prefer to hang them so they're hanging on a pegboard in my wall in my office. Tips and tricks that you'd suggest to book parties. I don't use the word party when asking people, and I use social. This is a struggle for me. This question is from Becca.
Tips and tricks to book parties.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I kind of sabotage my customers all the time. Like, if I go to do a bunch of deliveries, I always bring a tote party with me if I have one in my office. And then when I get there, I always start talking to them per usual. And then I wind up being like, you know what? You should take these testers with you because I'm pretty sure all the girls in the office right now want stuff. And she's like, yeah, they probably do. I sabotage everybody. I just sneak attack them.
That's what I did to Kristen.
And then they wind up. She sure did. You should just carry this for a little bit. Just keep it with you. It'll be fine. Here we are. I mean, thank God.
That's totally what I did. That's so funny.
No, here's the thing. Don't be one of those people who's like, buy the book, cookie cutter. Like, that's okay. Like, I love a booking blitz. Don't get me wrong. But like, if I was going to do a booking blitz, it would be in my own verbiage. I'm not going to copy and paste something into a message to ask somebody to book a party, because your people are looking for relationships. None of them want cold messages, y'all. You've got to build relationships with people to book parties, to recruit them, to do everything in this business, because people need trust. So you don't cold message, start finding new people, find new people. And then the customers will come, recruits will come in.
Yeah. And two of my favorite ways to book parties are, one, just like if you guys remember the September switch up we did, don't ever take an order. Don't ever take an order. If someone gives you an order and they want 6 bars, you say, hey, how about I try and get this for free? Okay. Let's give you a referral link, or let's open up a little online scent event. Or if someone wants a warmer, well, how would you like to get that for half price? Here's how you do it. Super easy. So that's one way. When you find out what a customer wants and then help them get that for free or half price, rather than just taking their money and taking the order. The other thing that always works for me is posting a picture of the mini warmers and just saying on social media, which one is your favorite?
Yeah.
It always works. And then you DM those people and you say, every single person who comments, you DM that person and say, okay, I see you love this new lavender mini warmer. I want to give it to you for free. If you'll just do a quick 3-day online party for me, I'll give this to you totally free in addition to your host rewards. It always works for me. And I use the perpetual party reward to get that for my customers. So it only costs me $10. Works every time.
Amen.
Yep.
Sister.
Let's see. Akila said she pretty much did the same thing in leaving her career. She left as a director, making less than $1,500 with Scentsy. It was just time for me. Yep. She was a freelance graphic designer. in and out of freelance gig, but kicked it up with Scentsy as well. So for me, it wasn't much different. I love it. Let's see. Trying to see if I can find any other questions real quick. Logan, so my thing is I want to grow a team, but I'm not sure how to start or where to start. How did you perfect being a leader for your downline?
Ha!
I'm not perfect. There is no perfect leader. You will never be a perfect leader. I will never be a perfect leader. So just throw that idea right out. Okay. Don't ever chase perfection because it's a lie and it's not even attainable. But what is attainable is authenticity and being yourself and loving who you are. And I'll also tell you that that's a huge, huge key to being a great recruiter is being yourself, because authenticity is attractive and relatable. Do you know people relate to mess way more than they relate to you being put together every second of every day, being the perfect mom, the perfect wife, the perfect housekeeper, cooking a 4-course dinner. That's so not relatable because nobody does it. No one. So if that's the message you're portraying on social media, or the idea that you think that you have to be, right, all of these things in order to be a great recruiter, authenticity and mess and struggle, I mean, it's so relatable, and authenticity is so attractive. Being yourself is, I think, the foundation of being a great recruiter. And as far as like being a leader, I think it's something you grow into. I think you just grow with it. You know, I didn't come into Scentsy with any natural leadership skills or a leadership degree, or you just grow with it. You just rise to the occasion. What do you think, Kay?
I mean, also too, I think like when you recruit one person and you kind of become a leader and a mentor, it just feels good. Like it feels good knowing that like you can be yourself with somebody and bring whatever knowledge you have to the table, and it could eventually maybe affect them in a positive way. And I think that's what leadership is. Like you just, as people, like we have to come as we are, because the more we come as we are and the more authentic we are as people, as leaders, that's when people grow the most. Because people don't grow when you've got that fluff and when you've got that like extra layer around you that, you know, you've been like holding on to for way too long. People grow when you're authentic. So, and same thing like what Jen said, recruiting. People are going to want to join people who are authentic, who are positive, who also know the business. The last 2 recruits that I've gotten joined under me because they literally told me that they knew that I would train them the right way. And yes, this is, you know, you're an independent person when you join this business, but people deserve to be trained. And people are going to look to you and be like, I mean, think to yourself, would I want to join under myself? Like, is this the kind of person that I'm looking to join? Because half the time when people join Scentsy, they're not joining for Scentsy. They're joining because they want something that you have. They want to feel what you feel. So you have to physically show them what Scentsy does for you. Like, how does it positively impact your life and other people's lives?
That's really good.
That's about it.
Really good. Tessa said, be yourself. If people don't like you, you don't want or need them.
Nope.
True, true. Okay, last question. Katie said, how long are your typical online parties? Lately I've been doing a week because that's what my hosts have wanted. One host wanted 2 weeks, and I was like, please no, because it's too long and the customers are totally disinterested. Nobody orders until the last 3 days anyway. So I was talking to Steph Williamson, who just promoted to director last month, and she said that she does these 3-day like weekend parties. And I thought that's so genius because customers don't even order until the last 3 days of the party anyway. No one cares what you say for the first 4 or 5 days, right? And I just thought that's so smart. And then I know that Jen Hornby does live online Facebook parties where everyone comes to the group at a certain time, like let's say 8 p.m. And she does this 30-minute live. She just goes live for 30 minutes, does a little presentation, just as if you had a home party with like the products there in your starter kit. And I was like, that also is so cute and works really good. So lots of echoing 3 days, so much better. Parties Wednesday to Friday, and with a live on Friday at 8. Quick, easy, and simple. Patricia Morrow format, 4 days, perfect. Patricia Morrow has a free group on Facebook. I think it's called Mock Online Scent Event. You can go look it up, join it, and there's all the information and literally like a party outline for you right there. Steph does it Thursday to Sunday. Thursday and Friday. So by Saturday, they have a lot to see. Sunday is just for ordering. Genius. Short and sweet, quick is better, in my opinion. So these 2-week long, 1 week long, I think it's too much. So Ikela does 60-minute parties, but 4 to 5 days before she does pre-posts and 4 to 5 days post-party posts. Alicia does Monday to Friday. So as you can see, again, variation. You just got to find what works for you, what works for your business, and what you find to be the most successful. Kathy did happy hour and a 90-minute Zoom. Smart. I love it. Yeah, Zoom is really good. That's a great idea too, because it actually brings people together. Alicia said no lives, private messages help the most for me. Yes, and we talked about that today. So Alicia has online parties and she private messages the guests to actually get them to order. So I thought that's really good too. I think that's a wrap. It was so good. Thank you so much for giving us your questions tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us. I love Q&A. I hope this was good for you. I hope you learned something or were inspired or just saw something in an office or heard one thing that you were like, oh, I think I like that or I can use that. So that's what we're here for. We love you guys so much. Thank you, Kristen, for joining me for this SSD panel. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday, okay? Bye. Love you.